So this is the camera. I am literally testing out these cameras and stuff while I am here this morning. Everybody, come on in, come on in. So this camera is not working, but this camera is working. Okay. So I am here just testing out my connections, just testing out different things, everybody. So come on in the room, come on in the room. I do have some things that I want to talk about today as I am doing this testing. I want to see how this works as far as direct to YouTube. So, everybody, um, welcome, welcome, welcome. If this is your first time, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you've been here before and you haven't hit that subscribe button, what you waiting on? That's my question. What are you waiting on? But anywho, everybody, some of the things that I wanted to come and talk to you all about is just to figure out where you are, because for me this is Transparency Tuesday and I want to be as transparent as possible while I'm doing this. Because if you are a content creator, you need to always be creating content. So let me make sure that I'm doing that right now. Let me create content. So I am going to do that. So something that I wanted to talk to you all about is not being afraid to jump out on your dream, not being afraid to push through that feeling of unease that a lot of us have because we are venturing down roads where we may not have ever been, right? Some of us have not been to those places. You know, I'm going to go live on Instagram. That's what I'm going to do. Some of us may not have been to those places, and because of that, we become fearful and we stop. But y'all, I've learned that when you stop, when you don't do what you are supposed to do, like push through that fear, when you have that idea that was given to you, that was downloaded to you, and you don't act on it, y'all, I found that I have depression and stuff because it's like, if I am not creating, if I am not doing what I am supposed to be doing within my life, y'all, I run into a deficit, even though it all requires work, right? It all takes work. Let me go live here. But I found that if I am not moving in my life, y'all, it is so not good. It's not good to not be making movement, steady movement in your life. Not at all. So that's why it is my mission to get up here and let everybody know, hello, Miss Annette, to let everybody know that it really is possible to change the life circumstances that we have all been privy to. A lot of us, we think that we can't just because we may not have the proper tools that we're eventually going to get. Because once you start working on yourself, those tools are going to come. Once you start working on yourself and you really are adamant about it and you really are consistent with it and you really are ready to take that action, because yeah, that's where many people fall short. And I was talking about that this morning on my TikTok, that a lot of people fall short because the amount of work that's required. But they talk about the sacrifice in the Bible. They talk about the sacrifice everywhere. Everything comes with a sacrifice. You can't get one thing without sacrificing something. You just can't. And I feel that when we can get that in our heads, that it all comes with a sacrifice. When we can acknowledge that it all comes with a sacrifice, then we can properly get on the road to self-development. We can get on the road to changing our life circumstances. But if you don't believe you can, who else is going to believe you can? If you yourself are telling you, well, I can't change my life. I've always been like this. I've always done this. I've always taken this. I've always done. If you are the one telling yourself that, then do not be surprised when it don't happen. Don't be surprised when it does not happen. You've already told yourself it's not going to happen. So why should it happen when you yourself have already told yourself that it's not going to happen? Y'all, when I tell you the craziness of this thing, some of y'all watching this video right now, stop for a moment. I want you to do an exercise and I want you to think about all the thoughts that came in your head this morning. All the thoughts. I'm talking about all the thoughts. All the thoughts. That's the only way this exercise is going to work. because some of those thoughts that formed in your head this morning may be the leading cause why you are not feeling well today. Maybe the leading cause why you really just want to lay in the bed today. Maybe the leading cause why you feel hopeless today. Y'all, when I tell you, I work hard to lift myself up out of the depression and anxiety. I work hard to do that because I know the moment I lay down those tools and don't work on myself, that leaves open the door for those things that I have struggled with in the past that I am managing now. It makes way for those to be the leader in my life. And I can't do this if those are the leading factors in my life. No, I need to be at peace. I need to make sure that I am okay. Self-care. I need to make sure of these things. But yeah, again, it's because I am doing the work and I am putting myself out here in talking about some of the tools and techniques that have helped me. Hey, sis, that have helped me in doing this work. And that is some of it. It really is just diverting my focus from the negative things in my life, the challenging parts of my life, and turning that into the what's going great in my life. And one of the things that's going great in my life is that I'm able to do this. I'm able to live out my dream. I'm able to get up here and talk to you all. I have a beating heart. Like, that's a blessing. I have a roof over my head. I can go into the refrigerator and take food out the refrigerator. Those are all blessings. But if I was to focus on, the stuff that's not going right in my life, then that's where my main focus is going to be. So for me, it really has become changing the narrative. It really has become that, me changing the narrative of my situation, because I went through some struggles in my life where I was so focused on, again, the lack of, I was focused on what I felt like I needed, what I felt like I was missing out on, and not focusing on the fact that the Most High God has given me another chance. So whatever it is that I want, I can have. I can, just like you. Because what's destined for you is destined for you. What's destined for me is destined for me. The problem, y'all, is that I have wanted it. I wanted it just sitting still. Come on, God, you love me. You said I'm your child, and then you know what I need. And why are you taking so long to give it to me? Why are you taking so long to give it to me? Well, that I found that the Most High God and all his awesomeness is taking so long to give it to many of us, because if he were to give it to us, we wouldn't be able to handle it. That is a part of the process, y'all. That process that they talk about, trust the process, trust the process, trust the process. I encourage you to trust the process, because it's within all of that process, all of those things that we go through, all of those things that I have grown through in my life, that have allowed me to do what I need to do in my life. It has allowed me to expand my way of thinking. Had I not gotten my heart broken, I wouldn't be able to appreciate the relationship that I'm in. Had I not gone through some things in my first marriage, I wouldn't be able to look forward to anything that the Most High has for me now. Had I not gone through that friendship, that work relationship, that job, had I not gone through all of those things, my illnesses, had I not gone through addiction and all of that, y'all, I would not be able to do this, because I speak from my experience level. I speak from my heart, because I understand, I understand, I understand, y'all. I understand, and I don't want anybody, like I said earlier on my TikTok, I don't want my worst enemy to feel hopeless. That is one of the worst feelings in the world. And I stayed in that place for so long. And I never want anybody to feel like that, because y'all, when you are feeling hopeless, when you are feeling like the world is against you, when you are feeling like nothing is right in your life, that is such a recipe for disaster. That is such a recipe for disaster. So, y'all, it is my goal. It is my mission to get on here and talk about the things that I have been able to get through in my life. And I had started, I've been working on a book for a while. I've been working on this book for a while, y'all. I've been working on this book for a while. When I tell you I have pages. I have been working on this book for a while, because for me, Writing is therapeutic, especially when I write about what it is that I am going through. And something that I had wrote, I said, well, the 2024 election recently ended and Donald Trump has been elected into office. I mean, that's where we are right now. Here I am jumping out on faith and raising my hand and saying yes to entrepreneurship, y'all. And when I tell you it, there's so many rewards in it. Like I feel so powerful because I am building out my dream and I am truly, truly working on legacy building. That is, there's power in that in your mind. But I would be remiss to say that, there aren't some drawbacks because the risk really is all on you. The risk is all on me. And that has been, the troublesome part because I'm so used to, I've been working for somebody else, making them rich, making sure their businesses work efficiently since 1998. Like literally, I've been working for somebody else, making them rich and all of that good stuff since I got out of college. And then it's like, man, if you can do that for somebody else, imagine what you can do for yourself. But then it's changing my thought process behind that because now I have to learn how to be an entrepreneur. I knew how to be a worker bee, and I don't have anything against people that's working because this is not for everybody, y'all. This is not for everybody. If you choose to work for somebody else, then be the best doggone worker that you can be. Don't be in there working for somebody and just getting pennies because you don't want to do what you're supposed to do. Be the best. But I decided that I didn't want that for me. And y'all, this is me being transparent. I remember going to college thinking, I don't want to run no business like that. That's not my calling. That is not my ministry. But God had another plan. In 2018, I realized that, man, for a very long time, I have been giving my power over to people. This is how I felt. I felt like I had been giving my power over to people because of the industry I had decided to work in. There was sometimes, listen, when the economy is not economy in, it hurt my industry that I was working in. So many times I was looking at layoffs, facing layoffs, jobs being sent over to overseas, all of that stuff. And then it got to a point where it was like, life was life. And then I'm fighting myself. And at the same time, these corporations that I'm working for, I'm just a number. So it's like that. Like I remember getting this overwhelming feeling is I don't want to ever give anyone the ability to say when I can eat, when I can sleep, when I can have food in my refrigerator, because that's how I felt. At the drop of a dime, they can say, oh, I'm going to lay you off. And it's like, wait a minute. So I remember I'm in Chicago and I'm telling myself, I don't ever want anybody to have the ability to tell me, when I can eat, sleep, and all of this stuff, ever. So I started the process. And it wasn't until last year, y'all, and they had to force me out, y'all, that I really got into this thing, full force. And I'm still like knees shaking and all of that because when you're used to, the steady income that you get with the workforce, then you're used to that and you're used to, it really is. There's a lot of change that has to be made and a lot of sacrifices, but the rewards, y'all. The rewards are endless. Like that's the part of the entrepreneurship that I'm like, man, you get the rewards from helping other people. You get the monetary rewards. You get the emotional rewards. You get all of that stuff, right? You get all of that. So I said, at this point, I don't know what to expect. But I do trust Jeremiah 29:11. And I trust our Father God that he, God, the plan that you have for me. The plan you have for me, a plan to prosper us. But as I have learned, you have to be willing to do the work. God do have a plan to prosper all of us, even you over here has the plan to prosper all of us, but you got to be willing to do the work. A plan to give us hope, but I had to have a faith the size of a mustard seed, and that's what you see now, y'all. Me getting up here every day, you see me having the faith of the size of a mustard seed because you have to have faith. If you don't have faith, you won't believe. If you don't have faith, you won't believe. And when you don't believe, y'all, you can't achieve it. And a plan for a bright future. Always remember that the storms come to strengthen you and not ruin you. Get back up and try again. Get back up and try again. Get back up and try again. And this is me. I'm jumping. I'm jumping, y'all. I'm jumping and I'm jumping and I'm jumping and I'm jumping and I'm jumping because Wusa is about preserving my family's livelihood. This is Black History Month, and I can trace my history back. My grandfather's grandparents were slaves. My grandfather's grandparents were slaves. When I was able to visualize and conceptualize and the realization that my grandfather's parents were slaves. My grandfather came from Alabama up to New York to change his life's and his family life's legacy. And I am, you are, your family's greatest dream. Trust and believe. We all are. The ones that came before us, they just laid the way. They laid that groundwork for us. It's really up to you and I. And I'm like, granddad, I know I got to do what I got to do because I know what my grandfather faced. He was born in 1913 in Alabama. It is my duty. It is my duty to make sure that the sacrifices that he made in order for me to be here, in order for me to do what I needed to do, I realize it is up to me. And everybody that comes up after me, I have to make sure that I am prepared to teach them a better way of life. I have to make sure that I am prepared to do that. So I have to work on me. I have to continue to work on me, y'all. Even with tears dropping, I have to continue to work on me. This morning, y'all, I didn't really want to get out the bed. Like, I really have been missing my mom hard. And I think it was because yesterday was my grandma's birthday. So she's really been heavy on my mind. But as I'm telling myself, like, girl, you can't break down now. You can't get down in your feelings because you're missing your mom. There's a lot of people out here that are parentless. So just talk to them. Talk to them. And know that you have to just keep on going. You know, like my mama, Sister Green, would be like, girl, like my mom was one of the strongest women. And I know that, you know, if she could, she would have still been here. But I have to keep jumping. I have to keep jumping. Hey, Reva Jackson, Ravage Jackson, I have to keep jumping. So let's talk about how I got here to this place where I can jump out on faith. Because someone hearing this, y'all may have a question because it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. 3 times. This is Transparency Tuesday. 3 times I tried to take my own life. 3 times, y'all, because I was in that hopeless state. I did not think that my life was worth living. I didn't. I was going through a divorce, separation with somebody who I had been with since I was pretty much a teenager. You know, pretty much a teenager. My whole life, my future was, everything was surrounding this person and my kids. You know what I mean? So when that was no longer there, I went through an identity crisis. I went through an identity crisis because I didn't know who I was. And because I didn't know who I was, y'all, the enemy, that devil, was able to sneak in and tell me all types of stuff about myself. And I believed it. I believed it for years. I believed it so much, y'all, that I let myself become a mistress. And I was married. Like, who does that? Somebody who's insecure and do not know who they are. That's who does that. And I did that. I did that. I allowed a man who swore to God in the church that he was going to love me through better or worse, you know, pretty much treat me as if I wasn't the person who had the children, married you, took care of you, and all of that. I did that. I did that. So when I had to go through the process of not having that anymore, I had to go through a process. And it took me 7 years, y'all. It took me 7 years to have the courage to say, you know what, enough is enough. Enough is enough. I felt like I had been disrespected enough. I felt like I had disrespected myself enough. And I wanted some change in my life. This is Transparency Tuesday, and I am just being honest. The change did not come easy. The change does not come easy, but the change is so possible, Aaron. The change is so possible. That change that you are seeking right now, that change that many of us are seeking in our lives, it is possible. But you have to be willing to do the work. And listen, y'all, I am preaching to myself today because there's times when I want to procrastinate. And there's times that I get fear, you know, in my life. And there's times where I don't want to make movement because, again, there's work. It's work. It's easy to do that 9 to 5 because someone's telling you to come in and clock out. It's easy to do that. But when you are doing it for yourself, y'all, it's not always easy. Just like going to college. A lot of times when kids go from high school to college, they get a reality check because in college, ain't nobody telling you that you have to go to college, that you have to go to class. No one's telling you that. As an entrepreneur, no one's telling you that you need to get up and do what you need to do. A content creator, you need to get up and create content. No one's telling you that. You have to do it though. You have to do it though. Hey, cuz, Grand Rising T Marvin, you have to do it though. Yeah, I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission because the Most High woke me up. I'm on a mission because the Most High woke you up. And if you are rocking with me, we are rocking in this thing together and we can be on this mission together. And it's just a mission to become the best possible version of ourselves. We aren't all supposed to be rich. Like that is not everybody's ministry. We are just supposed to be the best possible version of ourselves. And when we do that, y'all, when we do that, your light illuminates. Like, can't nobody tell you nothing. Can't nobody tell you nothing, cuz, right? When you function and you go through life from a place of healing, and you go through life from a place where you know that you are purposely purposed for whatever that is for you. When you go through life knowing that your life really is valuable, and that the peace that you seek is right at your fingertips, and a lot of the chaos that's been going on in your life, we bring it on ourselves. When you start functioning in that mode of life, I'm telling you, man, the possibilities are endless. The possibilities are endless. They really, really are, y'all. They really, really are. So I just wanted to test this live out. I'm testing out different things this week. It is Black History Month, and I am just working on some things. I really wanted to do this huge project for Black History Month, but if I'm being honest, I dropped the ball on it. I did, because life was life in me. So I dropped the ball on some things, but I am going to still, talk about, hey, Bish, welcome back. I am going to still, talk about Black history. My thing is, Black history is not just a month. Like, Black history is our history, y'all. It's our history, and it didn't start in slavery. Do your checks, do your fact checks, and just look at where people originated from. Where people originated from, so. All right, y'all. I think I done tested out this stream enough. I will be back at 10 a.m. It looks like I'm going to have to go live because I know I'm not going to have enough time to upload a video, edit it, and all of that. So I'll be live at 10 a.m., y'all. Make sure you subscribe to Green Links World Entertainment. You can hit the link in my bio over here on Instagram. If you are watching on YouTube, subscribe to our channel. Come back. We are going to have conversations today. It is Transparency Tuesday. I'm also going to get into some of this entertainment going on. Let's talk about the Grammys, talk about some things that's going on in the news. So I'll be back, y'all. Love your long life. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful wherever you are on purpose, because you can. Because you can. How do I end this?